Welcome back. It is the Buckmaster Show on 1030 The Voice. We are trusted local news and talk. It's time for the CEO interview series on Buckmaster, presented by Sun Corridor, Inc., a transformative economic development organization representing one of the most dynamic and growing major business centers in North America. It's a CEO-driven regional alliance whose members aggressively champion mega regional issues that impact economic competitiveness and quality of life. The organization has helped to drive significant business investment into the Tucson and Southern Arizona region through primary job creation, resulting in an economic impact of $24.8 billion with 162 company locates and expansions supporting nearly 48,000 jobs. For more information, visit suncorridorinc.com. Joining me on the Buckmaster Show live line, Pima Community College CEO and Chancellor Lee Lambert, who is a big supporter of Sun Corridor. Actually, Chancellor Lambert is a member of the Sun Corridor Inc. Chairman's Circle. Chancellor Lambert, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, Bill. It's good to be back on the show.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Pima Community College recently has placed real emphasis, Chancellor, on workforce training that meets the needs of our business community. How's that change going, and what's driving it?
Well, I'd say, what's driving it is quite simply this notion of the skills gap. We've known for years that businesses and industry have had challenges finding the talent they need, especially as we accelerate in the future because of the technological revolution, resulting in asking the question, what is the future of work? So I'll give you some data points to really put this in context. So the World Economic Forum projects that 65% of today's first graders will work in jobs that do not currently exist.
Wow.
McKinsey Global Institute said by 2030, 1 in 3 U.S. workers will need to learn new skills and find work in new occupations. And then the Brookings Institute recently said here in Southern Arizona, which covers Tucson and also includes Phoenix in terms of their conversation, 44% of job tasks are already susceptible to automation. So as you can see, we have a major challenge in front of us related to the future of work and the corresponding skills gap. And Pima is here to help address these challenges and turn them into opportunities for the community.
We are really at a crossroads here. That was a staggering figure about today's very young people, how so many of the jobs are not even going to exist in their lifetime that we're doing today. It's amazing, this transformation. And the community college has got to be, and will be, I hope, and I know you believe in it, a centerpiece for this workforce training.
Oh, absolutely. And when you think about, so let me back up a second. So the National Skills Coalition is a group based out of Washington, D.C. They did an analysis of all 50 states and what the skills needs are. And then when they looked at Arizona, they classified these skills in high, middle, and low. That the high group is folks who need a bachelor's degree or more. The low group is high school education equivalent. And middle skills is some post-secondary. They find that in the state of Arizona, the gap is the widest in the middle skills category. That speaks directly to the mission of the community colleges and what we do to support business and industry in our respective communities.
All right, so let's drill down into some of these industry areas, Chancellor Lambert, that are important to Southern Arizona and that certainly are on the radar screen of Pima Community College.
Yes, so when you think about the kinds of areas that are of greatest needs, and remember, Pima can't be all things to all people, so we've taken a very strategic approach to figure out where the investments we can make that would best help the business and industry. So here's some of the areas. Applied technology. So we're going to be building and focusing on the centers of excellence related to applied technology, healthcare, information technology, public safety, and a few other areas as well. So when I zero in on the applied technology areas, we're talking about transportation, manufacturing, and infrastructure. If you isolate to transportation for a moment, aerospace and defense is a large part of the state's economy. In fact, the state's economy in terms of aerospace and defense ranks number 6 nationally. And then when you isolate to the state of Arizona, some of the largest aerospace defense growth in the state of Arizona has been right here in Tucson, Arizona, accounting for, I think, over 70% of recent growth. And so you think about what we do at Pima with our aviation program located at the Tucson airport. We're hoping to expand that facility by twice the size, and the governor has placed in his budget a $20 million investment into Pima's aviation program that would meet the needs of that industry right here in our community.
And then there's this collaboration with Caterpillar, Chancellor Lambert, that has been very successful, hasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it has been. In fact, when Caterpillar was looking at moving to Tucson, fortunately, Pima was included in that process, and we were so pleased that we were included, but also that we played a role in helping to attract Caterpillar to the region. So then you fast forward to now, Caterpillar, because of the needs they have, they approached Pima Community College and said, we really need to figure out a way to make sure that our engineers keep pace with the changing nature of the future of work. And so we identified 2 initial areas, and let me back up for a second. So when you think about engineering education, much of it is on the theoretical side. So when engineers graduate from the universities, they come in and they know engineering conceptually, and they know that very well. The challenge is, how do you take that and convert it into real-world applications? So what they were finding is many of the engineers really didn't have that applied side of the knowledge requirements. So they decided if they could work with Pima and expose their engineers to what does a machinist go through, what does a welder go through, and we're going to be doing other areas as well. So we're bringing them in to learn about basic machining and basic welding.
Wow. So that has been a terrific collaboration. What else is on the horizon?
So we've been working with, and so as you think about the future of work and you think about electrification, you think about autonomous vehicles, and right here in our own backyard, we have a company called Too Simple, and they are an autonomous vehicle trucking-focused company, and they came to us because they realized they had a social responsibility beyond just the technology in terms of its impact to the truck driver. So they realized that their technology is going to displace scores of truck drivers, and what can we do in collaboration to make sure that the truck driver still has a place in this economy? So we've been working with them to define what we will likely be called the Autonomous Driver and Operations Specialist Certificate. And what that simply means is the truck driver will now need to broaden out their skills, which will go beyond just knowing how to operate the truck, but also knowing how to service the truck, but also understanding how to maintain and operate that onboard computer system that's central to the AV aspects, and then also understanding the logistics and trade in which this whole thing is all tied to, right? You're moving goods back and forth, and that's part of the this larger logistics and trade sector, if you will.
Well, the whole, you think about what's happened at Pima just over the last 5 years with this workforce development. I think you've really hit a home run, Chancellor Lambert. I think this is really the new Pima, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's all of our community colleges for all of our communities, right? So when you think about that special place that the community college occupies within our respective communities, and it's very true here in Tucson, Arizona, and Pima County, it's that career technical education space, that middle skill space that we provide the greatest value. Not to discount the other parts of our mission, that transfer component of sending folks through us onto the university, which is also a critical part. But it's the CTE part, that middle skills part, is what our country is really crying for right now in terms of the workforce of today and into the future.
Well, I think it looks very positive for Pima Community College and our community with all of this workforce development. And I know you are a big supporter of Sun Corridor, Inc. You think the mission is on the right track, Chancellor Lambert?
Absolutely. We would not have the Caterpillars here or the Two Simples here if we didn't have Sun Corridor. We need folks who are out there constantly looking to attract, but also support expansions, to work with the governor and the governor's office and the Arizona Commerce Authority to continue to strengthen our region's economy and really the state's economy as well as overall the nation's economy. So they're vital.
Chancellor Lambert, thank you. It's good catching up with you on all these exciting things going on. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Bill, anytime.
Thanks a lot. Lee Lambert is the Chancellor and CEO of Pima Community College. He was our CEO interviewee in the Sun Corridor, Inc. series that we do, interviewing all the top CEOs in Southern Arizona. For more information about Sun Corridor, Inc., go to suncorridorinc.com. We'll be right back. Coming up now on 1245 on the Buckmaster Show on 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk. Be right back.